Behind the Music, the show where we interview extraordinary people doing extraordinary things. Today I have Matthew, Drumman 190. Hey, I'm glad to have you here, man.
Hey Sean, I'm really glad to be here. Thank you for asking me.
And Matthew, the first question I did want to ask you is how did your musical journey start?
Really got into it when I was 13 years old. But when I was about maybe 6, 7, or 8, I had one of those Toys R Us drum sets, the first that drum sets. I had one of them and I loved it. But then it eventually broke. So I kind of gotten away from that. But then I picked it back up when I was about 13 years old. And when I was 13, I created my YouTube channel at the same time. And I've been drumming ever since. I've been doing live shows. I've been doing drum covers. I've more recently, since 2018, teaching. So I've been drumming really for 11 straight years.
Nice. And tell me about your live shows. Is it with like a personal band?
Yeah, kind of all kinds. But I think 2018, 2019, it was a band I created with me and my sister. She's a singer and guitar player, so we did that until COVID, and COVID kind of took that away. But I would also just fill in for different bands, local bands, and if a drummer couldn't do a certain show, I would do it. Or if a band's in town, they need a drummer, I would just fill in for them. But yeah, I kind of did all of it. And then more recently, since 2018, 2019, teaching really took off, and I've been doing that a lot more than performing. But I do hope to be performing live again, hopefully soon.
Nice. And tell me about some of the artists, bands, and musicians that influenced you when you first started your YouTube channel, and has it changed since then?
Yeah. So when I first, I don't know, I liked a lot of type of music, but it's mainly rock, classic rock. So when I first started, Green Day was a huge influence on me. Trey Cool. I liked his style of drumming. It's just not over the top. It fits the song perfectly. I feel it's not too much, not too little. I feel like it's perfect. So Trey Cool was definitely a big influence on me. And Green Day music. Aerosmith I love. Guns N' Roses I love as those two bands. But also just drummer wise, my teacher that I've took lessons for many years. My teacher Buddy O. Is probably my biggest drumming influence. He I first started off, like I said, when I was younger, but then started taking lessons when I was 13. And I went to the School of Rock, and they don't really teach you the drums; they teach you just how to play songs. So that's very different than learning the actual drums. So when I that was 13, and then a year later I found Buddy O, drum teacher. When I was 14, he taught me rudiments. He taught me how to read music. He taught me how to actually play the instrument instead of just playing songs. So he taught me everything I knew about the drums, how to tune them, how to what all the drums names were and what cymbals were, and he taught me literally everything about the drums that I know. So he's probably my biggest drumming influence, and I still talk to him today. He's still a great mentor to me.
Nice. It's awesome that y'all still stay in contact with each other to this day.
Yeah. He's a friend. Like I said, he's a mentor, but he's also just a really good friend of me and my family. And I'm really grateful to have met him. And like I said, he really impacted my drumming, but also impacted my life a big way.
Nice. And I know he'll be proud to hear that you're teaching now too.
Yeah, absolutely.
What inspired you to create the Drumman 190 YouTube channel?
So basically, I was always into video making. When I was much younger, maybe like 10, 9, me and my sister would create like little funny videos, little like fake TV shows kind of things, and we posted online. Just funny videos, just goofing off. So we were always into video making and kind of editing and just filming, funny videos. So I was always into that. And then when I picked up the drums more seriously when I was 13, like I said, I just knew I had to create a YouTube channel from the start. I didn't start posting videos right away, but I created my channel in June of 2013, and within a few months I started posting like drumstick reviews and drum covers with drums only. So that really inspired me because I always loved the video process of just filming. So it wasn't just I did that even before I was a drummer.
Nice. And how does it feel to be one of the pioneers of the YouTube drumming community?
Yeah, I don't really think of it like that. I know I have done it a while, and I just do try to do what I want to do. You know, have fun with it. But also, I love the idea of supporting other drummers. I feel like I still do it today. I try to watch as many videos as I can and try to encourage young drummers and not just young drummers, just drummers in general. I try to encourage people and support everyone as much as people as I can. And that's what I wish the more bigger YouTube drummers would do in the community. The Cooper drummers and the bigger drummers. I wish they would try to encourage more drummers and try to watch more drummers because it would make so many people's day if they got a comment from Cooper Drummer. You know, he has millions of subscribers. I wish they would focus more on that. But that's what I'm going to try to do. I'm nowhere near as big as those kind of channels and drummers, but that's my focus of trying to support drummers and encourage drummers. And I don't really think of me as the anchor, but I appreciate you saying that. But that's all I really want to do is just try to support people and just have fun.
Hey, it's awesome that you're doing that because we definitely need a lot more of that in the world and the drumming community.
Yeah, the world in general needs more support and encouragement. Yeah.
Because sometimes the world can be like everybody's in their own little box.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Yeah, we gotta help each other and support each other.
Right. And during the time when you started your channel, were there any challenges that you faced at that time?
Yeah, tons of challenges. Pretty much maybe a few years into my channel, just people that are mean. As I'm sure everyone, if you're online, you're gonna get some haters and some people that bully you and try to tear you down. But I feel like there was a group of certain people that really went out of their way and did some crazy things. And maybe I'll get into that some more over the next few years, or maybe we'll do another interview. But they really did some crazy things. I think it would shock a lot of people. But yeah, just bullies and people that, not that it really hurt my feelings if they say, oh, you messed up that drum song, you messed up this. It's not like that. It was more of personal attacks and personal attacks about me and my family, and even some people that are just kind of stalking you your family, or you. So that was made me kind of discouraged and made me think maybe I should just take a break. But you really shouldn't let these people win. And if I were to, stop my drumming, my YouTube channel, and just go offline, that would have been a big win for them. That would have made their day. So I didn't want to do that. So I kind of just kept pushing forward, and eventually, when I would ignore it or when I would block them, eventually it took a long time, but eventually they kind of fell off the wagon and just stopped. Thank God. But yeah, but if you're online, maybe you have this with your channel that people try to just spread hate. Just try to keep pushing forward and don't let that get to you. But it's hard when if they're just kind of stalking you and your family, and it's more personal attacks. So that was definitely hard, but we got through it, and I'm happy about that.
I'm happy you persevered through that because they took that to another level. Is one thing to have like YouTube trolls, but to start stalking you and go out of their way to make you quit.
Well, yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I'm fine with someone kind of, you messed up that song, you sound bad. I'm fine with that. That's fine. I'm also fine with constructive criticism. If you say, oh, maybe try doing it this way, I'm completely fine with it. But it's another level when you go after personal attacks or stalking me. That's another level, like you said.
And since we talked about the challenges, do you mind just sharing a few accomplishments that you've had over the years with your YouTube channel?
Yeah, I've a lot of great things have come from my YouTube channel. I was in Drum Magazine back in, I think, 2016 or 2015. That was a real great accomplishment. More recently, over the last few years, I've been endorsed by Attic Custom Drums. So that was always kind of a big goal of mine to be an endorsed drummer. So that's come with a lot of awesome drums and a lot of awesome things. So that's a great accomplishment. But really, one thing I'm most proud of my channel is just the community we've built. So many great drummers and great people have become friends. So we don't just talk about drums, we don't just talk about music. We just talk about life too. So I have so many friends I've found through YouTube. So that's probably the thing I'm most proud of is all the people I've met and friendships I've built. That's even when YouTube's long gone, I know I'm going to have this friendship, so I'm happy about that. So that's probably the thing I'm most proud of.
That's awesome. I think that's what it's all about.
Yeah, absolutely.
'Cause I've heard stories about like the YouTube drum community, and it's a pretty close knit group.
Yeah, yeah, it definitely is. A lot of great people, and I've heard people like bigger drummers saying, "Oh, the drum community is not as good as maybe vocalist community or whatever community you talk about." But I think if you really look, and maybe the smaller channels get it more, as you see more, they're in it more. But there's a great drum community we have on YouTube, and they're very encouraging, very supportive of one another, and yeah.
Hey, that's awesome, Matthew. Matthew, do you mind sharing what inspired you to create the series More Cowbell?
Yeah, that was just kind of a funny idea I had. I don't know what year that was. I forget, but it was many years ago. And I'm sure you've heard the expression "more cowbell." Got to have more cowbell. So I kind of just took it from that, and kind of maybe I thought, oh, maybe instead of playing a snare drum, maybe put a cowbell where the snare drum would be, or maybe put a cowbell where the hi hat would be. So I thought it was just a kind of a fun idea. Um, you always hear if you play a song on YouTube or you cover a song on YouTube and you have a little bit of cowbell in it, you'll always get a comment, more cowbell, more cowbell. So that was kind of the idea, and I thought it was fun. It was exciting. I forget what year it was and how many episodes I did, but that's really what inspired it was the more cowbell theme and the people that are always comment, more cowbell, more cowbell. So, dude, that was fun. That was a fun series.
I think it was on your cover of September by Earth, Wind, and Fire.
Yeah, that was one of
Yeah.
them, and then I did many of them. Yeah, that was one of them. That was fun.
Like I didn't know a cowbell could sound that good on the song.
Yeah, yeah. You'd be surprised if you even songs that don't have cowbells in it. You add some cowbell, it sounds good.
Can you walk the listeners through how you record and mix your drum covers?
Yeah. So basically, more recently, I would say over the past year and a half, 2 years, I've changed the way I record and make my covers. Big difference from years ago. So basically, what I do now is I do a lot more listening than I do actually practicing on the drum kit. So let's say I pick a song or pick a few songs. I might listen to that song 100 times before I actually go to the drums and actually practice the song. So let's say I pick a song. I'll just put it on repeat kind of as much as I can throughout the day. And I listen to the song as much as I can. Maybe a few days later or a week later, I'll actually go down to the drum set, and I'm going to film it on the same day. So I've learned the song completely by ear instead of actually going down to the drum set and practicing it for an hour. So that's how I approach picking a song and learning a song. And then the recording process is I usually do with 1 to 2 takes. I use a iPhone as my main camera and a GoPro as my second camera. And then I have mics on the snare drum, the bass drum, the high tom, and the floor tom, and 2 overheads. And just an interface into my computer. I record the drums by themselves. Mix them. I don't do a ton of mixing. I just add a little bit of reverb. Then I export that track. I put it in iMovie. I align the song and the drums together, and once they're aligned and synced up perfectly, I take bits and pieces of each camera angle and I put it throughout the video, and that's the cover. The editing process and mixing process, I would say, takes about an hour, and then the recording, can vary depends how long the song is. So that's pretty much the whole process. But yeah, I've changed it pretty bigly over the last year and a half of not so much practice, but on the drum set, but more practice with the ear learning.
Oh, nice. And I've heard the iPhone quality is really good.
It is. It's really good, and I would say it's just as good as a GoPro. Really, they do look differently, so you get a different look. The GoPro is a lot smaller than an iPhone, so you can put it in different places, get a cool shot. But yeah, the iPhone, the iPad, Apple products are great. We highly recommend them.
Yeah, I'll definitely have to switch to Team iPhone. I've been Team Android for the past 15 years.
Wow, really?
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe next time you switch, you should consider an iPhone. I think you'd be really happy with it. It's cool.
I noticed you have a few different sets in your drum covers. Do you mind telling me which one is your favorite and why?
That's hard. So I have three drum sets right now. The first one I used in my videos was a Pro Sport Wine Red. That's a great beginner drum set, and for any new drummer, if you're looking for a good drum set, but an affordable drum set, Pro Sport is a great series. It's a five-piece set you get, and they're some pretty decent sizes. That's a great drum set. Years later, I got my first custom drum set from SGC Custom Drums. I love the finish of it. It's a red and black Pro wrap. I think it looks really cool with black hardware. Really cool. That's that was. I think that was going to be tough to beat. I think the sound quality was really good. The maple drums, but then about 2 years ago, 2 years ago maybe this summer, um, I got my first ever added custom drum set, and now it's only a four-piece drum set. I don't usually do more than four pieces of a drum set I play. I just feel like I only use those kind of drums. I don't really have much experience with tons of big drum sets. I usually just use four pieces. But I would say the Attic Custom drum set is my favorite drum set. I think it looks cool. I think it sounds amazing. I love the sizes. So I would say, other than just, I love the brand. I love the brand of Attic Custom drums. But I think it sounds amazing. So I would just say that. But all my drum sets, I think I really love the sound of them. And I all love them for different reasons. But if I had to pick a drum set to like play a show or go somewhere with, I would take the Attic Custom drums. They're my favorite.
Is the way that you would approach a drum cover different than the way you would approach a live show?
Yes. I think you would play more, you could add more fills and add more, little tricks into a drum cover because the drum cover is about you. A live show is more about the song and about the band you're playing with. So I definitely would approach it differently. I wouldn't play maybe as many fills. I wouldn't add too much to songs that was alive. But in a drum cover, I would maybe add some of my own fills and more of my own style. But I would play more to the song. I think I play to the song either way, but I think I would try to be more straightforward and play more for the song than I would for a drum cover.
That's awesome. And do you have any advice that you would like to share with anyone that's starting a YouTube channel?
Yeah, I would try. I would advise people not to get too. Don't get held up in the views and the subscribers. You really, if you're a drummer and you're doing drums on YouTube, you're not going to get paid for that because you're playing someone else's songs. So I would just try to pick the songs that you want to play, and just do what you want to do, and play for yourself, and just try to have fun. There are a lot of things that could get in the way of that. People that try to tear you down and discourage you, but really just try to stay focused, keep your head down, and try to just play songs you want to play, do what you want to do, and just have fun. Because really, it's all about you start drums and you start the YouTube channel, hopefully to just have fun and do something creative. So I just encourage everyone that's starting out to just do what you want to do. It's your channel, and you should do it your way.
Yeah, that's some good advice, Matthew.
Thank you.
And I can tell by the growth in your channel and a lot of the songs you pick, you're really just playing stuff that you love.
Yeah. There have been times that I try to play, maybe a newer song or a song that's not really my style to try to attract a newer audience. But especially lately, I'm just trying to just play what I want to play. And they're not crazy hard songs. I'm not a metal drummer. I'm not a flashy drummer. I kind of just stay in the pocket and stay in the groove, and just really play songs I want to play. So that's really I've always tried doing it, but I feel like I've really done that, especially in the last 2 years. To just play what I want to play, and my style is stay in the groove and just stay on time.
Nice. And I've seen you play a lot of different styles on your YouTube channel. Which styles would be your favorite? I've heard you mention that rock is your favorite genre to play.
Yeah, rock is my favorite genre and still is my favorite genre. But I do also love some of the newer country music. For instance, Luke Combs. I also am a big fan of just a ballad, a song that maybe doesn't have that many drums in it even. I tend to listen to that stuff a lot, just on my free time, just listen to a nice ballad or listen to some, newer country music or older country music. But my favorite genre would still be just rock, classic rock. I don't necessarily have a favorite bands anymore. I kind of just have different songs of different artists and bands I just like. So yeah.
Yeah. I think I recently kind of fell in love with country myself, and you're right. Country is definitely more pocket, and it has great stories. And even though the songs, may not have flashy feels, but all the feels kind of serve the song.
Yeah, definitely. And like you said, it's pretty straightforward drumming, but it's powerful. It's powerful drumming. Just a simple beat or a simple bass drum and a snare drum, that goes a long way. And I've never been into the super flashy stuff of the heavy metal drumming or the bunch of fills and chops stuff like that. I've just been more attracted to the basics.
And same here, Matthew.
You
And
said you like country. What artists do you like? Do you like Luke Combs? Do you like stuff like that?
um, I've recently kind of got into like Christian country. Have you ever heard of Ann Wilson?
I have, yes.
Yeah, that's one of my favorite artists. I fell in love with her storytelling when it came to songs, and her drummer, I believe his name is Jacob Arnold. Like you said, his style is not flashy, but it definitely serves the song. And if that part wasn't there, you could tell it.
Yeah. I love that.
And who else? I do like Carrie Underwood, and it's a band called Kane. Have you ever heard of Kane?
I don't think I've heard of that, but I'll have to check it out.
It's kind of like it's Christian country pop.
Okay. Yeah, I would say like Luke Combs is more like country rock, if that's a thing.
Oh
You know?
yeah, I've heard Luke
Yeah.
Combs before. Luke Combs is good too.
I don't know if you've heard Post Malone's new album, his country album. Now he's usually a rapper, but
Yeah.
he recently put out a country album in August. I highly recommend checking it out. It's a great album.
Okay. Well, I didn't even know he switched to country.
Yeah, he switched. Yeah, he switched over the summer, and there's a lot of collabs on that album. A lot of just songs by himself, and it's a great album.
Okay. Wow. It's like I think like a lot more rappers now are doing country, especially like Jelly Roll.
Yeah. A lot of people are switching to country.
Matthew, and I'll mention like a few names, and do you mind telling me about the story behind how you met that person?
Yes, absolutely.
Eric, the drum addict.
Yeah, I think he started in the year of 2020, and I kind of just, as I've mentioned before, I try to watch and encourage as much as drummers as I can. So I came across one of his early videos, and I commented on it, and we would go back and forth, and his production. I'm sure you've seen his covers. His production is top notch, but his drumming just gets better and better with every drum cover. And if anyone listening hasn't seen Drumatic, Eric Drumatic, I highly recommend checking it out. But yeah, I just came across him the way I've come across a lot of people, just searching YouTube drum cover and recent drum covers, and I saw one of his early videos, and I was a fan since. And then more recently, over the last few years, we've done some interviews, we've done some contests together, some drum collaborations together, and we just become great friends.
Yeah, that's awesome. I've heard that Eric is really big into the YouTube drum community too.
Yeah, he is. He's a big person in the drum community. He's does shout outs. He has done shout outs, lots of collabs. He's just a great encourager of just drummers and people in general.
And I've heard Mr. Earl, which is my drum teacher, mention you a lot.
Wow, Earl Bennett, a drum
Yeah,
teacher?
yeah.
Oh wow, that's awesome. Yeah, me and him go way back. We have been two of the drum communities, two of the probably the people that have been on the drum community the longest. Me and him. So yeah, that's cool. That's cool. You're his drum. Now, do you learn from him virtually or in person?
I was learning from him virtually. I just reached out to him on YouTube and I asked him about lessons. And I just wanted to learn more and more about drums. And I took lessons from him for about 2 years.
Wow, that's cool to know. That's cool to know. Yeah, I know. Earl and me, like I said, me and him go way back with the drum community. Very cool.
And Matthew, do you have any words of wisdom that you would like to leave the listeners with?
I would just say, drummers or people in general. Like I touched on this earlier in the interview. Just try to encourage people and try to support people. Um, One thing I will say is when I started almost 12 years ago, there's a handful of people that are very supportive of me. I've been very grateful for those people and fortunate to have a lot of great supporters throughout my drumming career with my family or just people that are friends or people that I don't really know that have supported me. I really am grateful to all of them. But to anyone listening, just try to support each other, try to lift each other up and be supportive of each other. We all start somewhere, and we're all at different levels and different stages of our life in drumming. So just try to be supportive of each other. If you want to be, maybe say some constructive criticism, you can, but try to be in a nice way. But yeah, I would just do that. Be nice to each other, be encouraging, and be supportive.
Hey, that's awesome, Matthew. I definitely have to write that one down.
Yes.
And thank you for tuning in to Behind the Music, the show where we interview extraordinary people doing extraordinary things. I hope that someone was blessed by what Drumman 190 said, because I know I was.